Looks like we are live.
Yep, we got Benny D, Raffy, Tom Tom, Alan W, Big Chungus, Sebastian, and Altered Tech, and Jessica Fuller. So,
Dude, Altered
not
Tech
many,
in the
but we
house,
got some great ones.
Hey, I got to do something for Altered Tech here. I definitely got to do something for Altered Tech. Hold on. Altered Tech is a friend of the channel.
Get coupon code.
So we got to add him. We got to get him a wrench.
Does he want a wrench?
Well, we'll see. We'll give it to him. We'll see what he does with it. Let's see it. Let's see if he holds it down. You know, Raffy's got the big wrench, though.
Yeah. So I was watching that podcast Sunday. Somebody was saying that visible code didn't work. What Raffy is doing looks exactly like the copy paste from the refer a friend line.
Does it not work?
It should. Unless it's a font issue.
All right.
But,
all right, let's get things going first. Let's get an audio and a video. Let's get a check on that. Let's see how we're feeding. You guys let us know on the live. See how we're doing. All right. How far did you get, Pete? Where'd you get the Chungus? You got Seabass?
Yep, and Altered Tech. We also got Eugene Church and Penita Gomez. Chris Estes.
That's my dude, Chris.
Jeremy Mahan. Nintendo 504.
All right, they're saying both are good. All right. Jeremy's in the house. You know Nintendo 504 is in the house, man.
Oh, yeah.
In the house, in the building, in the apartment. He's everywhere.
As is Antonio N. and Joan.
No, that's John, bro. John.
Joan.
My dude, I'm telling you, that's John.
Is it? Huh.
Bruh. It is John, man. I'm telling you right now, son, it's John. I messed it up the first time, too, bro. I felt terrible. How was I supposed to know?
That is some interesting spelling of John.
That's because John is part of, like, the royal family of Greece.
Oh!
I don't know. Maybe I'm making stuff up, bro. I have no idea. I mean, he's royalty to me. Salute, Big John. I see you, bro.
We also have Sean Williams.
My dude Sean is here. Good to have you on, buddy.
1971. I have a feeling he was born in 71. Greg A. Randy.
Reindeer?
Randy.
Oh, Randy. Like short for Randolph.
Yep.
All right.
Edward Alex is chiming in.
Ooh, I haven't seen Edward Alex on a live stream in a minute.
I haven't either.
All right, man. Pete.
Wait, T-Mobile signed up with Xbox.
What do they got going on?
I don't know. Walter Tech said T-Mobile signed up with Xbox.
It's interesting. Hey, let's get some likes up in here. We got 40 in the live chat. I don't know how many likes we have.
I got 29 or 19, including mine.
Yeah, let's get that going, players.
We got Mikey Tech Review in the house.
Friend of the show as well. Mikey Tech Reviews.
Tom, we're not pausing the stream for 5 minutes. Get your own food.
Sean Mason is here. Pandita is here. Much love.
We got Brain.
Yeah, what's up with the Verizon outages? I've heard of a couple. I mean, they're low key. They're not like massive, but you know, we got to call it like it is, right?
We got Mo.
Where we at? I'm a little behind.
I got down to Mo saying, "What up, players?"
What's up, Big Bry? What's happening, Mike?
So, Verizon, I can guarantee the outage is not Badgers.
They dig too deep for the Badgers to get to them.
Yep. So, I was looking at the map, and a lot of these cities are 5G or future 5G. So, I'm thinking it's infrastructure related on the Verizon end.
Make sure when you guys come in and you like the video, make sure you like the video so hard you crack your display. I want you to, you know what I want you guys to do? I want you to drop an elbow on your phone to smash the like button. I want like a head kick or something to your phone.
No. That doesn't work as well as raw sausage.
What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, make some donations. Much appreciated in advance for that. Gorilla Glass 5, what is that, scratch-proof stuff?
It's that stuff that Apple put on its phone that said it was break-resistant. I dropped that phone on a bench, and long story short, I had to replace the home button, too.
Once you break the home button, you're out. I mean, if it's got a fingerprint scanner, it's done.
You can't use none of the fingerprint scanner worked after I replaced the home button.
No, it's the only home button that can actually serve as a fingerprint scanner is the one that comes with it. So if you end up replacing it, it'll just work as a home button.
Oh.
It's tied to the IMEI. It's terrible. Thanks, Apple.
I could have sworn it was only tied to the model.
No. I've had tons of issues with that. That's how I know.
All I know is if you're in one of those states that is opposing the merger, you should write to them and say there are bigger fish to fry than the merger. Sprint's hemorrhaging money, and we need Apple to abide by right to repair. Wait, you just cracked your iPhone 11, Edward?
Hey, big shout out to Jeremy for the PayPal donation. Thanks, buddy. Much appreciated. Big shout out to Jeremy for that. Appreciate your donations to the channel. Thank you for the support.
We got Full Tonic 68 and Dark Shadow. Tech for you nerds. Your nerds. No, tech for your needs in here too.
Man, you're just slaughtering names tonight, Pete. Yo, what's up, Voltonic? What's happening? Randy, good to have you on. Dark Shadow is here.
I want to know how Edward broke his screen already.
Bro, he was trying to like the video. He just elbowed it.
I thought they said the iPhone 11 was crack-proof.
Hell no. I think the back is supposed to be drop-proof. What's up, Tech Fury? Good to have you on, man.
The front always breaks.
What is this here? Story about Sprint being investigated for fraud. True. Yep, it's true. We're going to talk about it today. Actually, Pete, here's how we're going to do the whole thing about the T-Mobile and Sprint situation. I'm going in by myself. You just sit there and be pretty, all right? And then when I'm done, you go. And then we're going to start with
the hard job.
Huh?
Why are you giving me the hard job?
Well, okay, so you just got to sit there and listen, and I'm going to finish. And when I'm done, you go. When you're done, we discuss like humans, but we're both going to go in on it.
Okay, but the first question is this an NC-17 stream?
Please do your best. And the reason why I say that is because I know for a fact Edward Alex at times may have a young lady with him.
Ugh.
So that being said, maybe after 9 p.m. we'll swing with the big dogs.
So we're going G, so we're gonna have terms like fluffer nutters.
Sure. Greg is lagging. Bring it down one resolution notch. Maybe bring it down to like 480p or something. Should we chant lock him up to Marcel?
I don't know if it's Marcel or their finance guy or.
All right, we're going to get to it, Jeremy. Give us a second here. All right, you guys ready? I don't have anything written down. I don't have anything written down, so this is just me going in off the top. This is like a freestyle. All right. Okay. I want to start by saying I'm frustrated. The reason why I'm frustrated, Pete, what are you doing?
Snap it. Motioning snappings like you're doing beat poetry.
Come on, man. Let me do my thing, bro.
Okay, right. I'll let you do your thing.
All right. I'm frustrated because I thought that T-Mobile had a legit chance to get this merger approved. And they had the FCC side all on board. They have the DOJ side on board. The concessions are in place to allow Dish to be at least 5 to 10 years capable of running a network. Who knows what would have happened after that, but at least they would have been there, and it would have springboard maybe to another company or whatever. But it didn't matter because Sprint as the fourth carrier. Here is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if Frankie's here, and I like Frankie. I don't care who out there likes Sprint. Sprint is the problem for all the issues in wireless right now. You got this type of nonsense happening at absolutely the wrong time. The problem is if you are going to convince a judge in a state where there is a merger block that you need to merge, and then you do something like this, where you are taking tens of millions of dollars in fraudulent money that is being provided by the FCC. It's from their budget. And they are doing you a favor and bailing you out. And you're taking tens of millions of dollars from a program that is designed to help people who can't afford service. Sprint is like 35 plus billion in debt. Taking tens of millions helps them in no way, shape, or form. Why they did this, I have no idea. Why they continue to step on their own toes, I have no clue. But the reason we have problems in wireless is because our fourth carrier is failing us. Their network is incomplete. Without roaming agreements, their network is poor. It's poor with the roaming agreements because it's always in 3G. The handful of markets that do have good connectivity are far and few in between. They're giving away free service, which makes no sense. What type of business operates to give away service? And then to make things worse, you go and do something like this. How are you going to get a merger to go through when you got states lined up to fight you? You got your $34 billion in debt because you don't know what you do with your money, and you haven't invested in your network adequate enough to be up to standards for 2010. And all we see is 3G, and all we see is 1X, and all we hear is people talking about, I got Sprint, let me call you back. And then people want to talk about Band 41. Yeah, it's great. I love 2.5 gigahertz. Excuse me, what good is a Ferrari when it's sitting in a garage?
Or the gas isn't in the pump.
So all I'm going to say is this about Sprint. Sprint has failed the U.S. consumer. Sprint has failed the SMT nation. Sprint has failed to compete. Sprint has failed T-Mobile. Now we're going to end up being stuck with two big-ass carriers, one fighting carrier who's playing catch-up because they joined LTE late. And all we have to show for it is a yellow and black carcass. R.I.P. Sprint. Go ahead, Pete.
Some people's children. So, personally, I'm annoyed with this. For one, the moment the Lifeline thing came out, I'm like, I even told you this when you called me earlier. That was poorly administered. But because it's poorly administered does not mean you can defraud the government to subsidize whatever the hell you're trying to subsidize. That will always kick you in the ass. I remember when Sprint was decent. It was before 3G. I had issues with Verizon and AT&T during 3G, so I had the option of Sprint and T-Mobile. I looked at Sprint and looked at their 3G and said, this is junk. Total junk. And ended up with T-Mobile, which was also a poor network, but they seem to have development potential. If I decided to go with Sprint at that point, I'd still be on 3G. In my city, not the largest, not the greatest. Downtown, I can get 110 megs on T-Mobile, no problem. Sprint, you're in LTE in some pockets and LTE extended in others. And I have not seen substantial growth in 10 years. That is disappointing. I mean, WiMAX was good in Japan, but why invest your money into something that works in an island smaller than the state of New Jersey when you have large areas of open land that it will not work on? Someone royally fluffernuttered this situation. Probably their technical officer, financial officer, and everyone on the board who thought this was a good idea. I just hope the end situation of Sprint with this hullabaloo does not give us a duopoly in cell carriers because Verizon buys out the mid-band and Sprint and T-Mobile is there with scraps trying to run a network and maintain a network behind two juggernauts. I am pissed. However, I did largely watch my language.
Proud of you, Pete. They left us with two options nationally because T-Mobile has been around for like a solid decade as a legitimate LTE provider, right? They've been around for 10 years.
They've been around for 9 on LTE.
Okay, so we're putting them at almost a decade. Nobody has shown more promise and growth and network expansion and network deployments and upgrades. Nobody more so than T-Mobile. Sprint's been around forever. Mistake after mistake after mistake. We should not be surprised that they're failing right now. We really shouldn't. I'm going to say this right now. If you are mad that the pricing on your plan with Verizon and AT&T is expensive, it's Sprint's fault.
T-Mobile's trying to drive it down, but when you have no strong competition...
Pete, Sprint is giving out free service.
And it still sucks.
Nobody wants it. They're giving out free lines, $25 lines, and they are predicted to lose 230,000 subscribers this quarter. By the way, guys, if you appreciate the updates from the SMT, 2 videos out today in one day, please hit that like button now. Let your boy know that you appreciate the hard work and the efforts of the SMT. minus 230,000 subs coming. They have 54 million.
And for retrospective, they're saying T-Mobile's doing horribly because they added less than 750,000.
T-Mobile is predicted to add somewhere between like 700 and 800,000 subs.
Which is bad for T-Mobile, who's been consecutively adding millions.
There were quarters where T-Mobile added 1.5, 1.3, 1.6, 1.2, 1.1. Every quarter for the last 25 quarters.
You can only siphon so many customers with Sprint.
And then we got Sprint giving out service. They're giving it away for free, and they're hemorrhaging customers.
I had the choice between, at one point, getting Sprint for $25 a line for 6 lines and paying $40 a line on T-Mobile for the same service. I'm like, I wouldn't mind saving $15, but I'm going to be on bad T-Mobile. Why would I buy that?
I just don't understand. They literally the reason why, if you're wondering why your bill is not cheaper, it's Sprint's fault. If you're wondering why T-Mobile's your only affordable option, it's Sprint's fault. If you're wondering why Verizon doesn't care about competition, if you're wondering why AT&T is unfazed by competition, it's Sprint's fault. Everything is Sprint's fault. Their inability to manage their expenditures, upgrade their network, keep up with the times, invest correctly, they failed us. They failed their shareholders. They failed Masa. They failed Japan. They failed US. They failed everything.
Does that mean they should be committing seppuku?
Pete, let me say something, man. If Sprint goes bankrupt, good. The problem is, where do those spectrum allocations end up? In what hands?
Big Red.
So thank you, Sprint, for leaving us in a situation where Verizon gets stronger. Thank you. Because you know for sure, Pete, T-Mobile and Verizon are going to go to war for that mid-band spectrum.
The best thing that T-Mobile could do against Verizon for the mid-band is triple the price. That is the absolute best thing they could do to Verizon when it comes against Verizon for mid-band. Verizon has a bigger war chest and a better credit rating in the U.S.
They do, because they're an older company than T-Mobile.
If T-Mobile tried to go big, it would probably be Deutsche Telekom mortgaging the company.
I want to say congratulations to all the people out there that wanted the merger to fail. Congratulations. We now lose a carrier who's going to go bankrupt, and the spectrum is going to go up for auction, and Verizon's going to get most of it, if not all of it.
This is going to give my spectrum index a cluster pluck.
I want to say congratulations to every single person who opposes the merger and says, it's bad for consumers. Yeah, because this is going to be better. A bigger, badder Verizon. So you thought Verizon was slick with their one middle finger pointed at you? They're going to hold up the other one now.
No. They're going to hold up the other two.
But it's okay, though. You got what you wanted. The merger has stopped. The way this is playing out, Pete, T-Mobile's walking away.
Yep.
There's no way Deutsche Telekom wants any parts of this. They're already a foreign company that's invested in a U.S. company. You already know it's difficult.
It's poison, man. It's poison.
Maybe under a different administration it wouldn't matter, but it does to this one. It's unbelievable. I hope the people out there that oppose the merger, I hope they're happy. I hope they're ready for 3 carriers.
Or 2 5G carriers.
You guys thought T-Mobile was the underdog now? Man. Without the merger, wait till you see what an underdog is.
They might just be the budget carrier by default.
I can't believe it, man. Like, people literally got what they wanted. This T-Mobile's going to walk away. They're not. What? Why would you go to court knowing that this is looming? It's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, without this, lawyering is
look at
worth
this.
it.
Look at this, bro. Look at Brian. Brian's tripping.
As a new Verizon customer.
Hey, guys, Freaky Giraffes is about to drop a bomb. Just, read it quickly and then, move on. Let him get it out of his system.
The Mrs. Bomb?
I do not want Verizon having the 2.5 gigahertz. If Verizon gets 2.5 gigahertz through the failed merger, T-Mobile will then end up probably like Sprint. How are you going to compete with a company? Bro, Verizon would take 2 years and they would have nationwide 5G with 2.5 gigahertz. 2 years.
And it'd fall back on their CDMA network.
It won't fall back on their CDMA network, but I'm telling you right now.
What I'm saying is, T-Mobile would need to spend some time to reallocate the spectrum to be more friendly with their standard. Verizon and Sprint don't really have as much of a difference frequency-wise to get onto their phone. So Verizon would be able to deploy that spectrum much quicker.
I know for a fact Verizon would charge 20% higher bills just because they're going to have 5G that'll be nationwide.
Plus the $25 add a 5G per line with 5 gigs of data.
And you can bet that they would have a new TV program. They'd be doing TV over IP.
Ooh, that's another avenue we didn't think about.
Pete, what does T-Mobile want to do with this 2.5 gigahertz?
Some of it they want to do T-Vision on because at the moment they're having difficulty being attractive in markets where people have data caps on their internet. If you have a data cap on your internet, you're not going to be doing 4K TV over the internet because that will eat into your quota.
If you don't mind, Peter McGuire, I want to address something. This is not a personal shot at you at all. Please don't take any offense to this. I saw this in the comments of my most recent video. It's not just you; it's a lot of people, and I respect your opinion there, saying that Sprint has no standards. When did Verizon have standards? When did T-Mobile have standards? T-Mobile will do low things. AT&T does the lowest of things. Actually, in my opinion, T-Mobile's the least evil. I think Sprint is just trash. Okay, Verizon is evil. And then AT&T is like the devil reincarnated. So in my opinion, they're all horrible. I'm not here to defend anybody. Pete, what's the best thing that you could do if you're going to have objective opinion, right? You've got to take into account all truth, all facts.
All truths, yep.
You cannot take a side. I love T-Mobile because they're a disruptor. I love T-Mobile because they give consumers some advocacy in a way. You know what I'm saying? They do it more so than the 2 big carriers. But to sit there and say, like, T-Mobile's Mary Poppins and, and
they're not.
Like Sprint's Bowser and like, you know, like it's not like that. They really the bottom line is they are trying to make money, and they will do it at almost any cost, right? But AT&T is by far the worst. Verizon sucks when it comes to customer care and given a you know what.
Wait. Do they compete with AT&T for who can go lower to the bottom of that?
Hold on, did I miss a super chat, bro?
I didn't see a super chat.
How'd I miss a super chat, man? I
usually those pop right up on my thing.
If I missed the super chat, I'm really sorry, whoever it was. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Raffy, did we miss a super chat?
Frustrated, bro.
We got 3 people saying what super chat.
I want to give a big shout out to the 118 that are watching this in a live. That may be a Sneed Mobile Tech all-time high.
How'd we hit 118?
Got 118 in live. If you could, please hit that like button. Help the SMT Nation hit the algorithms running.
Do we need to do... Peter, Republic Wireless is an NVMe of AT&T and T-Mobile. They jump between both carriers based on service. So are you saying you should buy up 15 gigs of T-Mobile data and then, what's the point in Republic Wireless if Sprint's probably going to bow out?
Pete, should we look at the document from the FCC? All right, guys, I'm going to share the screen. We're going to take a look at the actual document here. All right, so let's see if I can make this happen. I'm going to share my entire screen. Just share this. All right, let me know what you're seeing, Pete. Are we good to go on this?
Now we are.
All right.
Woo! Stream Sunshine.
All right. Are we getting it?
Yeah, I see that on there. Can I make my little viewer bigger? No. But that's pretty good.
Are we getting feedback?
Only if I get too close.
Hold on, something's going on here. I'm going to stop this. I don't know. Something just happened to the audio.
I hear audio now.
All right, we good? We're back?
Yep.
All right, I don't back when I tried to pull up that document. I don't know what's going on with my machine. All right, so anyways, let me read to you guys what it was.
What was the document number?
I don't know. I'm going to try to share it with you, but here's what it says. Why is this doing this? All right. So here's the situation. The FCC has ruled that I'm having technical difficulties. Hold on. All right, let's try this now. All right, so we have 885,000 Lifeline subscribers. Is it still happening, Pete?
It's getting better.
I don't know what's going on with it. Anyways, we'll try to work through it. Okay. 885,000 subscribers who are supposed to be receiving Lifeline support, which is essentially a subsidized version of like smartphone provisions. After 30 days of non-use, those customers that qualify for the program are supposed to be deactivated.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Sprint was taking the money out even when those customers had discontinued use and didn't qualify for it because they expired after the 30 days. Well, 885,000 subscribers over the course of X number of months added up to tens of millions of dollars. So essentially, the FCC is completing a full investigation into the situation where they were taking all of this subsidized money directly from the FCC. And apparently, 18.5% of the payments made by the program were considered fraudulent. That's almost 1/5 of the money. And people wonder why the administration wanted to put an end to the Lifeline program. That's kind of where we're at there.
I thought it was a good program, just poorly executed since it started. Did it pop? Did my share pop up? Nope. And I think I killed Sneed's audio again.
We hear it, Pete?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that might be a little buggy.
I don't know what just happened. Like, I swear, sometimes I really feel like it's like sabotage. Like, whatever.
I'm blaming StreamYard and screen share.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. All right, so here's the situation. Thank you for the super chat, guys. That one's from Alan. Appreciate it. Here's my takeaway from this whole scenario, the situation with what T-Mobile does from this point forward. So T-Mobile is essentially probably going to walk away from this, and I don't think their penalty is going to be severe.
I don't think there was a decoupling penalty.
Well, if you think about it, Pete, like so much has changed over the course of the merger with concessions and then stipulations. Yep. There's probably not going to be much of a penalty, if any.
I don't think they had one to begin with.
So in this situation, I think T-Mobile walks away scot-free.
Yep, and
but they don't reach their goal, which was to
that
get a
delicious 2.5 megahertz frequencies.
Very, very frustrated, guys. I'm really sad to report the news. I know some people are probably happy that the merger is most likely going to be completely just derailed by this. I don't actually see a way in which this plays out. I mean, Pete, if it was 50-50 before, what is it now?
I'm looking for a coin. I'd say like 30-70. And
you're a lot more you're more, I guess, optimistic about it than I am.
And I want to say one thing. They complained about job loss.
But what
happens if Sprint goes belly up?
Hideka says, I'm happy with it being derailed. Why?
Because we get riled up.
If you don't like AT&T and Verizon only win in this. There's no other winner. Sprint loses, T-Mobile loses. There's only two winners in this. If T-Mobile was to successfully merge with Sprint, Sprint wins, T-Mobile wins, customers win. You have to look past the $5 a month you're saving right now and think about the other 300 million subscribers who want better service. And they're willing to pay $5 more a month or $10 more a month to get 5G access nationwide and to get really freaky fast internet and reliability and coverage.
So Hideka said, "I'm kidding." So
okay.
I'm gonna put him in timeout.
No, don't put him in timeout. He's a friend of the channel, and he's
I know he's a friend of the channel,
and he's a you know what? He's an OG to the Discord gang. You got to call it like it is. OG status. Hideka is the G Pies burner account.
No. G Pies burner account, as we said on the phone, was probably a Verizon line.
Bruh, who is Boomer?
I did see a Boomer in the chat.
Oh, and contrary to popular belief, my name is not Steve, bro. I don't know. Somebody thought my name was Steve the other day. I don't know where that came from. So here's the problem, Pete, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Where does Sprint go from here? Because in my opinion, Sprint has AIDS right now.
They become a Spectrum asset for Altice Wireless.
Those Altice have the capital to build out a network, man.
That's a good question.
Why is everybody making fun of Hideka? This is messed up.
Yeah, stop making fun of Hideka.
Next person who dogs Hideka is getting timed out.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Let's Aaron, if I could take a moment to kind of clarify things.
Not really dead.
It's not that it's dead. I feel strongly. And Pete, who's been more in tune with the merger over the last year? It's us, bro. Like nobody.
Yeah, this
nobody's
guy.
been. We followed it every step of the way.
Last year when they announced it on my birthday, I thought, wow, this is going to be a good present.
I'm concerned that T-Mobile walks away with nothing, losing nothing but gaining nothing.
No, they lose a lot.
Well, they lose the opportunity.
Buying out that mid-band, that's what they're losing.
What happens to Sprint customers? You see it. Whatever's going on right now, that's what Sprint customers get.
Leaving the network.
Leaving the network.
Which, ironically, costs more jobs.
I don't understand, man. Like, there's no version of the failed merger that works to the advantage of the consumer. Where do people come up with this? There's no version of this ending where customers are going to be like, wow, I'm so glad the merger failed for my personal wants. Like, I don't want T-Mobile to be stronger. I don't want Sprint to go away.
I don't want my 3G icon to disappear. I've had that for 12 years. I want to keep it.
That's a good question. Bad news, Brown. Dish continues to lose customers in satellite.
Yep.
I'm frustrated, Pete. We voiced our concerns. I think Verizon is very happy right now. I think Masa is pissed.
Yep.
Can Sprint be saved, Pete?
Well, we can always hope that they decide to rebrand. Let's change the name from Sprint to Nippon Wireless. And maybe people will not think it's as toxic if you have it set up using like 6 or so shell companies in Taiwan. But Jarrett says, can Sprint sell? I believe he believes sell with an S, not a C. T-Mobile, their mid-band, even if the merger doesn't go through. I don't think Pi, the Verizon lawyer, would be keen on T-Mobile just buying the mid-band when Verizon could.
Why would John want to help? Why would he want to help Sprint if they're not in it to help him?
That I think the only reason Sprint's really been into the idea of being bought out is what is it, Flex Seal? T-Mobile was their Flex Seal to keep their boat from sinking.
All right, I think I got this situation under control. All right, I would like to see. I mean,
So,
I really want to see. I wanted to see Sprint be legit. That didn't happen. So the next best option. Are you getting that feedback?
no.
Hold on a second.
Selling Boost would not save their issues.
I would have liked to have seen Sprint succeed. I wanted to see Sprint make some legitimate noise as a national carrier, but they haven't shown the aptitude to do it. People have tried to poo-poo the bottom line, which Sprint is failing, and they kind of put it on T-Mobile that T-Mobile's the bad guy in this. Well, in all actuality, from the very beginning, the problem has been Sprint. And I think people just have to remember that. Everybody's saying T-Mobile wants to consume all these customers and T-Mobile wants to become the next AT&T and Verizon, when in actuality, it's not. It's Sprint's fault. It's not T-Mobile's fault. I don't know where the static's coming from, Pete. Are you getting static on your side?
Muffle. I hear muffle. I wish I could send him a new cable over within the next 15 seconds.
A new cable? These are brand new cables.
Okay, so it shouldn't be the cable unless they gave you lemons.
Brand new cables, man. Everything's new. New mic, new cables. This only happens when I do dual streaming through StreamYard.
I think it's the API. Also, Jessica, I don't think Dish has the assets to make a T-Mobile buyout worth it.
A lot of people have been saying that Sprint should just sell 2.5 gigahertz. They can't sell their company if they sell their spectrum. Their company value is tied to their spectrum.
So you sell the spectrum, you're selling you sell the barn, you sell the farm.
You have to sell it all together. You have to sell your debt. You have to sell your business. You have to sell your assets. You have to sell your customers. You have to sell everything, the infrastructure, all of it. Because if they sell any part of the spectrum, the value of the company goes down, but the pieces are not the same as the sum of the parts. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's say they sell half of their spectrum and they get $5 billion. They've got $34 billion in debt. What good does making it $29 billion do you?
Absolutely nothing. You're If you could sell assets to the and end up so that you can have a reasonable amount of debt and possibly maintain good enough credit for refinancing, that's fine. But if they sold that, they wouldn't have anything to refinance against.
I really wish that SoftBank, whatever decision-making process goes into it, could literally take everybody that's in Sprint now, just fire them all. Start from scratch. Everywhere, from top to bottom. Start complete. You know what I would do, Pete?
Hey, don't get rid of those retail employees who are overpaid and underworked.
No, I'm talking about from...
Oh, corporate.
So from CEO down to regional management.
Yeah.
Okay. I want Mike Sievert. I will pry him out of the cold hands of T-Mobile and put Mike Sievert as the CEO of the new Sprint.
I might actually go there. I like Cesar.
He's supposed to be the next guy to take over for John. I would back up the Brinks truck for him if I was Sprint. Whatever it is that they're doing at T-Mobile is working. Go get that. Whatever's doing at Sprint ain't working. Throw it out the window.
So Edward Alex said we should read his previous concept saying, don't panic, the devil Verizon will take this one, but baby Jesus, Amazon, and God Tesla will be providing satellite service nationwide projects, Starlink. That is not applicable in this situation. If Starlink might help with a deployment of T-Vision, but it's not going to fix the Sprint issue.
A couple people are talking about filing bankruptcy and Sprint.
If
a lot of people are saying that Sprint's using the broke card to try to convince, that they need to merge and all that. That's not going to work unless they actually file for bankruptcy.
If you're
they
a cell
have to
carrier,
legit start the paperwork. You know what I mean?
If you're a cell carrier and you file for bankruptcy and that does not allow somebody to buy you, it just lets a investment firm buy you, you basically failed.
All right, Pete, let's kind of play this out. We're gonna take a look at T-Mobile's options moving forward. All right, so option number 1, you walk away from the merger. What do you do from here?
Hit up a bar.
Legitimate.
See if you can get some assets in place to purchase spectrum against Verizon in the next mid-band auction.
So we're hoping for 100 megahertz of national mid-band from the C-band.
Oh, that would be nice for anyone.
So then they're just waiting for that.
Yep.
All right, so that puts them on par with Verizon if they land that type of mid-band. Because Verizon's probably going to get a similar allocation of mid-band in that same spectrum.
I mean, if it's 200 and the FCC says, all right, Sprint, no, not Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, you both need this for your 5G. Here, you take this upper half. Here, you take this lower half. It will cost you $1.2 billion.
Good question, Tom. The reason we're wearing white T-shirts is because we coordinated it.
Completely coordinated, but these are not undershirts.
These are overshirts, and that can't be understated. All right. Oh man, here's a question from Sean. What does this mean for T-Mobile customers right now? Are they good as long as we rely on 4G LTE? I mean, it's a setback. It really is, because the merger was really going to help position T-Mobile for 2020 national 5G. Like 2020 would have been a huge year for 5G for T-Mobile.
Actually, me as a T-Mobile customer, since I have the 600 and 700 megahertz on my phone, T-Mobile wants to deploy 5G over that. So we can rely on the final stage of LTE and possibly 5G on those low bands. But it's not going to be as game-changing as the mid-band.
It's going to suck because everybody's going to think, oh, T-Mobile's got the slowest 5G. But
yeah, but we also have it's like Verizon, probably the fastest. AT&T, probably most reliable. T-Mobile, largest area type of thing.
So again, we're going to have 3 very different networks. Nothing has changed.
Actually, they'd be getting worse.
Because, like, that's what we see with LTE. We see very different networks.
You got one largely on 3G, one basically mid-band and some low-band, and whatever the heck Verizon's doing, and T-Mobile is now going all in low-band because that's what they were able to buy.
I'm about to write Sprint a letter. Dear Sprint, I hate you. Peace.
I don't know if they'd read that. They might have a little too many letter bombs in that pile.
That's all I need, bro. Can I get Marcelo's number? I just want to send him a text. Dear Marcelo, I hate you.
Pull your head out of your ass.
Peace. Frustrating, man. And here's the thing. We've been talking about the merger and all this potential. And we're going to it's all getting thrown out the window.
Just like this.
Over $20-30 million, bro.
Just like this.
Man.
I gotta pick up those tins when I'm done.
I want to say, when I was reading the story today, and I'm going like I'm checking like 2, 3, 4 different sources. I'm finding documents that are like talking about the actual numbers, like how many subscribers, how much money, how long this is going on for. You know, like I'm reading all this and I'm thinking to myself, we just had an issue with Metro. Like Metro was selling used phones as new phones to customers. They're not giving itemized receipts. They're charging fees that don't exist. Like, why is this happening right now?
Now, what I'm curious is, why has nobody reported the fact you can get a used iPhone at new prices at the Apple Store in Times Square? We're passing the savings on to you.
Pete, here's the crazy thing about the FCC thing. There's a commissioner by the name of Carr. He's one of the 3 Republicans on the staff.
Yep.
He's all about the merger. He was not finalizing the circulated letter. That was supposed to be done weeks ago. I think he's been privy to this knowledge for some time.
Most likely.
I think he's been holding out. Everybody thought it had something to do with the T-Mobile business plan moving forward and the network. I think that was false. I think the truth of the matter was he was looking into this. I think they did an audit of Sprint,
which would be required for the merger proceedings.
How stupid are you, Sprint? So stupid.
So
you know what, Pete? I hope this goes to court. I really do. I want to see Sprint go up there. I really got to see this.
Can I drop an F-bomb?
Nah, man, nah.
Okay, was Sprint fluffing this up after they say, "Hey, we're merging"? Or was this all prior to that? Because if they were fluffing it up after they said, "Hey, we're going to merge," they
I don't even know. I really like screwed the pooch, bro. We can't be surprised, Pete. Sprint has been failing for a long time. This is another move, a failure. This is the same as WiMAX. This is the same as Nextel. This is the same as Radio Shack. It's just another bad decision. It's just another
Radio
one.
Shack. That used to be a good store.
Who messed it up?
I don't know. At some point, I used to be able to buy transistors there. After another point, I wasn't able to. So I think it was about when they left the ham radio area and went to selling Sprint cell phones exclusively.
For those of you that have Sprint service and like it, and it's good in your city,
you have a unicorn.
Congratulations, you and the other 13 people that have good Sprint service. Enjoy your time.
So I have somebody who owes me a couple drinks in my department. And every time he tries to download something over Sprint, he just starts cursing. The last time I had him download something on his cell phone when I was with him, I connected him to my T-Mobile hotspot just so it would get downloaded.
Bruh, I remember one time I was calling my friend. He was breaking up. He said, text me. I got Sprint.
The last friend I tried to contact with Sprint, I went right to asking him if he had Hangouts, so at least I could talk to him when he got home.
Pete, I don't even know, like, what do I do the rest of the week, like, with the channel? What am I doing? You know when I do the history of Sprint video, I'm putting this in there.
Yep.
This, like, I'm doing, like, the absolute history of, like, whole series. I've done AT&T, I've done Verizon. Next is Sprint. I'm going to do people the last.
You're going to write to Sprint and say, thanks to this cluster fluff that you made with the Lifeline, I have to delay production of your history video a week.
Like, if I wrote out the script right now, I have to go back and amend it. And I have to put biggest mistake Sprint ever made, stealing money from the Lifeline program. FCC just,
and you had a footnote. Prior to this, it was deploying WiMAX in the U.S.
All right, guys. Like, there's always recency bias. In the live chat, if you are in the live, even if you are watching this replay, big shout out to the replay crew.
Crew.
Yep. Let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comment section, whatever. Is this the biggest mistake that Sprint has ever made? I'd love to hear what the people say, because Radio Shack was a bad mistake.
In the chat, say fraud.
WiMAX was a big mistake.
So if
Nextel was a big mistake.
If you think this was the biggest mistake, type in Lifeline. If you don't think it was, type one word saying what you think it was.
Bro, Sprint was on their way. Like, they had a chance. This was going to court, and then anything goes in that court,
Got one Nextel. A whole lot of Lifelines.
Yeah, I see it. Not a Lifeline there. But it's recency bias. I mean, it's so easy to point to it and say this is the worst.
I don't know. You can make a lot of mistakes without committing government fraud.
I got another mistake that Sprint made. So, Pete, they chose, is it FDD, their LTE?
Yeah.
Why did they do that? Now that means their upload sucks.
It's because their uploads are on 3G.
No, it's the situation is they need 3 and 4 carrier aggregation to their upload in order to get it over 10 megabits per second.
Why?
It's just bad, bro. It's just slow.
I don't need that many carriers on T-Mobile.
I'd tell you what, 2 carrier aggregation on the upload would be awesome.
Oh man, if I could get 2 or 3 carrier upload, that'd be
Band 41, bro. 2 carrier upload. Jessica Fuller says Lifeline was the worst. Zen Pyro, Lifeline. No CPR. Sprint failed due to... Bro, you know what's crazy? They took money from an FCC program, and the FCC built the concessions with the DOJ to make this happen. What? What? Are you kidding me?
terrible.
Tom, yes. We want 5 carriers with 5G.
Yes. We do want we actually want 6 carriers with competitive 5G.
M. Garcia is right. We all get screwed. The customer loses here. The customer loses. Our 5G deployments are at the mercy of AT&T and Verizon.
Ugh. That's an expensive deployment.
Cesar, I will say that they're still fighting the uphill battle without the merger. It's just no other way. It's frustrating, Pete. Today's probably the most crippling day in merger news that I ever had to report. Like when I first saw it, I was like, T-Mobile's gone. They're walking away. Tom says, Lavendi, I'm not into socialism, bro.
I'm a devout communist.
Julian Cruz says, T-Mobile will be okay alone. Sprint can go to HE double hockey sticks.
I do not let my political or economic structure bleed into my discourse. So today this Sprint thing was a double whammy. I woke up at 7 a.m., 9 o'clock your time, did what I did every day, opened my Google News app, top listing. I'm like, this isn't good. Then I go into work. My backbone internet connection for my servers are dead. And I'm like, this is a horrible day for networks.
Oh, man. M. Garcia says, how long do you think it will take T-Mobile to walk away? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they walked away by Friday. Bro, they're going to talk to their lawyers, and they're going to say, can you assess the situation? Well, what should we do? And if they say walk away, they're going to walk away right away.
I think first the lawyers would go like this.
Michael's right. He's not wrong, Pete. Michael's right.
Yeah. I mean,
Raymond's saying tomorrow.
That's pretty close to the end of the week. It's bump day. Xander, suing is not free.
A lot of lawyer fees.
But that actually might be a good plan of action if Sprint's going to be going to the bucket.
Yeah, but how much could they get out of it, even if they did sue?
enough for some good deployment. So Craig came in late. They defrauded the government $600 million. Or was it $600 billion?
No, it's tens of millions. It's probably $30 million.
I got the brief up on another screen. Let me see.
I don't know, Pete. We got 885,000 subscribers. Multiply that by $10. But I don't know how many months, because it's monthly.
Doesn't say in the briefing.
It says 3.1 million de-enrollments in 2018. This was an audit, Pete. This was an absolute audit. They audited Sprint, and that's what it was, bro.
There is no credible way that the merger before us can proceed until this lifeline investigation is resolved and the responsible parties are held accountable. That's the first time I've seen underlined in bold in an FCC briefing.
You know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to chalk this up and say it's just another Sprint F-up, man. That's all it is.
So we still think they have their heads up their tookishes.
Here's the rules to this program, Pete. Under the non-usage rules, providers of free service may only be reimbursed for a Lifeline subscriber if that subscriber has used the service at least once in the past 30 days. Providers must de-enroll inactive subscribers after giving them 15 days notice. Program-wide, the rule results in approximately 3.1 million de-enrollments in 2018.
So part of this is Sprint. Part of this is the way the program was set up.
Pete, are you telling me it's possible that this is neglect, or was this on purpose?
I'm going to say a little column A, a lot of column B.
Pete.
Personally, now this is coming from someone who's been on food stamps and disability insurance. The amount of paperwork required to stay on either of those programs, it makes it so if you can do better, the paperwork isn't worth it. Right. If you had this Lifeline program set up, so every month the consumer had to say, I still need this, and they had to affirmatively re-opt in, you wouldn't have gotten this. And just saying, hey, I still qualify, is the lowest amount of paperwork required to get onto a welfare program.
I mean, it's worth it for people to use it when they need it.
Yeah, but, spend 5 minutes on your Sprint phone saying, hey, I still need this. That it could even be a voicemail. That is so much easier than going through 30 minutes of paperwork every month for other things.
I want to give a big shout out to Dave B's Tech. Dave B, a friend of the show, a contributor to the channel. He's been on the podcast. Been a while. Good to see you on, Dave. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. God, man, it's just really, it's horrible timing. I almost want to say that maybe the opposition to the merger somehow conjured this up, but the FCC probably did the audit, and it had nothing to do with, unless maybe it was Jessica Rosenworcel, who is a Democratic member of the FCC. Maybe she said, we need to look into this. I think something's going on. Maybe she was tipped off. Maybe there's some inside info. But it didn't matter who was the whistleblower. This is the fact of what was happening.
I still don't even get why this is partisan. I mean, I'm generally against mergers. And I'm like, hey, instead of having 3 carriers, we can have 3 good carriers. Or instead of us having 2.5 viable carriers, we can have 3.
Pete, when are people going to be satisfied that Sprint has actually failed? When they drop under 50 million?
When they drop under a million.
Think about it. They're losing 230,000 subscribers this quarter. If they lose 250,000 subscribers for 1 year, that's $1 million.
Wait. Last quarter, they are going to be dropping 250.
No, that's the expected for quarter 3, 2019.
Don't they do a quarter off, though? So we'd find this out in quarter 4?
Yes.
Okay. Troy says when they hit 20 million. I'm going to say when they hit 5 million.
So they're going to hang around until 5 million?
Yeah.
So there's going to be 17 employees.
Yep, and they're going to have a Sprint phone.
What if this actually helps the merger because it shows that Sprint is doing shady things just to be alive and needs T-Mobile to actually stay alive, and if not, they will keep being shady.
Actually, this might be good for the merger.
I wanna agree with that premise. But here's the problem. A judge ain't seeing it that way.
No,
Democratic judge in Manhattan who is presiding over a case being spearheaded by Letitia James. Can we just lay out all the facts? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying this might actually be good for the merger. It might actually become a buyout, not a merger.
Lavendi, I disagree with you 100%, man. I don't represent any type of political party, so I'm just going to disagree with you right there because of that. Will Sprint Wireless be roaming on T-Mobile if the merger doesn't go through?
They do have T-Mobile does have a roaming agreement with them, and it would cost them more money for them to ditch Sprint than it's worth to keep Sprint on 3G.
All right, so we got 140 in the live. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you appreciate the updates from the SMT, if you appreciate the live streams, the podcast, please like this video. If you could, if possible, make donations here to support production here on the SMT YouTube channel. You could leave a super chat. You could make a PayPal donation. There's lots of different ways to do it. I want to thank you guys in advance for those considerations. I want to give a big shout out to the moderators in the live. Thank you guys for being here. Pete, this is a pretty big deal. I'm interested to see what happens moving forward. I'm preparing myself for T-Mobile to walk away.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the most likely scenario. T-Mobile, Deutsche Telekom makes the call. Hey, it's over. We're done. We tried. It didn't work out. We have to make it some other way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Lavenda, you're very welcome. Tech Love and Mama, what's going on? Good to have you.
You should catch Rewind, Tech Love and Mama.
Tech Love and Mama has Sprint. I'd like to know, Tech Love and Mama, what do you think of this news?
I'm sorry for you, Tech Love and Mama.
Hey, if you love my videos, please do share them. Please like all the videos. Thank you for that. Dark Shadow says if Sprint gets bought out, what happens to all the thousands of grandfathered plans? They just convert to a
They go kaput. If they get bought out, they go kaput. If they're a merger, the buying company is stuck with them until they're void, and then they have to go into, if it's T-Mobile, like a Magenta plan.
Pete, let's speculate. How would a buyout happen between T-Mobile and Sprint?
Very simple. The FCC and the FTC allows for T-Mobile to purchase somewhere between 51 and 100% of the Sprint shares active in the U.S. at either fair market value or under fair market value. If T-Mobile is able to get a majority stake, say, or a super majority, say 66%, they can absorb the assets as a subsidiary.
So we got a little bit of information from David. Thank you for chiming in. Worked indirectly for Sprint for 10 years. It does not surprise me at all. Sprint seems to try harder to fail than succeed. We're starting to sense that.
Yep. But yeah, if T-Mobile could buy like 66% of Sprint, they could make it a subsidiary holding company and then gut it.
All right, so Pete, you know I'm a school teacher, right?
Yep.
I have anywhere between 75 to 100 students that I come in contact with daily.
Yeesh, that's like 4 times more than I do.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, I can survey their phones. They always take them out. They're always on Snapchat doing whatever. I'm going to ask every student that has Sprint to raise their hand, and I'm going to take a picture of whatever is on the top of their display. And I swear to you, if 90% of them don't say 3G.
Or 2G.
Man, 3G, I know for a fact.
So
and we have a tower in our football field, like in the back, like by the stands, by the lights. There's a tower.
And that's not causing those players. That's not causing the players to get a third arm.
Dave B, how much? How much 2.5? How much? What concentration? Are we talking? We talking 50 megahertz? We talking 100 megahertz? How much?
250 megahertz, which would be hot.
Sprint isn't great, but is one of the best in my area.
In New Hampshire, as with a fair bit of New England, Sprint is pretty good, but that's because they have legacy phone agreements and carriers who were later to the game cannot penetrate that market.
Dave B wants all the 2.5 gigahertz.
So basically, you're saying Neville should buy Sprint.
Hey, Frankie, I hope you're happy, bruh.
Now is Frankie on Sprint? If he is, give him a year and a half. He might end up on T-Mobile just because he needs a new carrier.
Yeah, he's number 14 of people that enjoy Sprint service.
Is he before or after Tech Love and Mama?
It's messed up because they're both good friends of the show, you know?
Yep. And we enjoy both of them.
Yeah. See, and I never take personal shots at anybody. I just dog the carriers. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what, Pete? Let's do that. Let's take each of the 4 carriers and let's say something awful about them. Go ahead.
Let's see. Sprint. Rewind back toward the beginning of the show. AT&T. The best thing they ever did was go from unlimited nights and weekends to unlimited anytime minutes. Because that way they couldn't charge me for calling someone at 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Verizon. The last 3 times they messed up my bill before I left them for T-Mobile, I got hung up on every time I started complaining.
Yeah.
T-Mobile, they don't have the coverage Verizon has.
It's frustrating, man. There's no perfect carrier. There's no company that does customers, 100%, like whether it's a coverage issue or it's speeds or it's pricing or it's customer care, they all have holes in their game.
Oh, I also have another issue with T-Mobile. Why does your Band 71 not penetrate the walls of the Super 8 in Murdoch, South Dakota?
Really?
Yeah. I walked outside that hotel like it's Band 71. Went in, no service.
Pete, I'm a huge proponent of fiber, but I've come to the understanding that 5G may be the only way that rural America gets decent broadband.
That is the only way because
I never would have thought in a million years that wireless was going to be cheaper to get 5G than fiber.
Here's the thing, though. Terbium, the primary element used in a fiber optic cable, is not as common as copper. So for every kilometer of that, you're spending more than it would take in the power to broadcast a watt of 2.500 megahertz or 2.5 gigahertz spectrum or 800 megahertz spectrum. So you get a cost thing. If we could make fiber optic over, say, aluminum or tin, we'd be in a completely different ball game. But this is a terbium and a silica glass.
Yeah, it's
with a certain level of imperfection from pure silicon. So, yeah, the crux is to deploy 5G. If you're doing millimeter wave, you need a lot of fiber optic. But if you're using low band, you need less fiber optic, but more wattage.
So I have a video. It's about to drop tomorrow. I don't know if the patrons have the early access. I'll probably put it up tonight for the patrons. Verizon is making huge infrastructure gains for the next 2 years. So They started this program back in 2017 where they're essentially building out fiber. And what they're doing is they're doing all the digging. They're doing all the install. They've got all these different hardware contracts. Verizon is preparing for something. People don't understand, like, Verizon's not just going to go millimeter wave. That's lies. There's no way. It would take them 50 years to get 90% of the country covered in 5G if it was all millimeter wave. Watching buddy of mine, AT&T customers, Cesar from North Carolina. All right. Fiber over electric lines. Don't they like them in the ground, though? Huh, Pete?
That is a IEEE standard 1394. No, it's 1394. What was Wi-Fi? 1394G. 1394H is Ethernet over power line. The only issue with that is you're capped at your speed degrades every 350 meters. So if you had a gig at the base station or 10 gigs at the base station, after 30 kilometers, you're down to 5 megs.
That's about right. But that's why they're all changing their systems over the course of the next couple of years. AT&T's already moved that way, and Verizon's doing it now.
And T-Mobile basically does upgrades and subsidizes fiber in areas right now. The main reason why they've done so many updates in Longmont, Colorado over the past few years to their networks is because we have reliable fiber.
All right, Pete. So my goal was to be on for 1 hour.
And we're in an hour and a half.
We're in an hour and a half. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the SMT and Pete takeaways from today. And then we're going to do our predictions for the rest of the way for the merger. And then we're going to do a closing statement.
And if we get 11 more likes, we'll give a $40 Visa gift card.
Got a gift card?
I'll get a gift card. Stop at the post office, get the gift card, send it out.
All right. So
I will even reopen the giveaway channel on the Discord.
Oh, did you close it? All right, Pete. Let's do the SMT and Pete takeaways. All right, so here's the SMT takeaway from today. T-Mobile's in a position where if they walk away, We understand. Nobody's going to tell them what you're doing is foolish. At this point, if they assess their situation financially and they're like, hey, let's just cut the losses, let's just walk away from this, I think everybody understands it. The other side to this, SMT's takeaways, is Sprint continues to be a failure to their shareholders, to the American consumer, and to the wireless market as a whole. And I think moving forward, we really can't expect Sprint to ever really recover from this. They haven't recovered from anything previously. Their track record is to fail. So that's the SMT takeaways from today.
My takeaway is I just minimized the stream. But my giveaway channel's back, so 9 more likes, and I wanna give away a $40 Visa gift card on the giveaway channel. If I get 9 more likes,
so me and Pete will get you guys a Visa gift card if
you post the blue thumbs up on the giveaway channel on the Discord. That simple. And we lost a thumbs up. My takeaway, Sprint has been a failing company that's been on life support since 2010, 2011. They were not on life support, but failing since about 2007, 2008. Wow, super chat. Think this news came out on purpose to make T-Mobile Sprint merger be approved regardless of scandal. There's no way a judge won't approve this merger, of course. Well, here's the thing, Michael. This issue may delay the trial, and then we may hit a retrial because we missed the December date, because the FCC will not allow a trial to proceed until this Lifeline issue is rectified.
I will say, Michael, thank you for your generosity, man. Thanks for the donations. I don't think the whole bipartisan part of this, with kind of the Democrats opposing any type of merger here, they don't care if Sprint fails. Like, that doesn't bother them.
Despite the fact that's bad for competition?
Right, but they don't care. They say they care about that, but they don't. Because if they cared about it, they'd get Sprint out of there. Who gives away free service? How is that an effective business model?
Wait. You're missing something. They give away free service and they're hemorrhaging customers. Also, come on, 5 more likes.
You know what? I'm going to start a business tomorrow, guys. You heard it here first. I'm going to start a business tomorrow, and my goal is to give away free stuff and to go out of business very, very soon. That's my goal. I want to lose customers, and I want to give away free stuff. I'm going to succeed, right? Good business model.
As a certified financial advisor, I'd recommend in your best interest, mind you, I'm not a fiduciary, but I'd highly suggest that you do not proceed in that endeavor.
That's what Sprint's doing.
Yep. Sharon R. Anyone used Altice Mobile? Actually, my aunt and uncle have used Altice Mobile. They can make phone calls.
You know what, Pete? I got to sleep on this, bro. I got to see if I wake up in the morning and I still feel as negative about it today. You know, if I feel the same way tomorrow. I just
yeah. Also, 96 likes and no $40 for someone. Anywho, I've said what I had. Yep.
Pete, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Sounds like a plan.
We tried to get there. We couldn't get there.
As Daedalus tried, I guess we went too close to the sun.
All right, let's do our thank yous and our shout outs. Big shout out to Pete for being here. Thanks for joining me, sir. Big shout out to Rafi holding it down with the big wrench. Big shout out to my other moderators. I think I had Jeremy in the house today.
Yep.
I had Altered Tech
Yep.
join us on the moderating side. We had who else was moderating tonight? The Technoid.
Bird, Technoid.
Technoid stopped by. Madbird was here. I want to thank Michael Fortner for his kind donations. Willie Watson, thank you for the super chat.
I
Much
can't wait for them to do it either. Those are my tax dollars.
Willie, they can pay the FCC back, but they gotta take a loan, which they already owe $34 billion. Yay.
Yep. I'd like to give a shout out to Sprint for making this all possible. A shout out to AT&T for giving me employment indirectly. Don't tell the government to contact India for domestic lists of people. And yeah.
All right. I want to thank all the subscribers. I want to thank all the viewers. I want to thank all the commenters, everybody in the live chat. Thank you guys for being here, joining us on the conversation. Thank you all who liked the video. Thank you to all who shared the video. Thank you guys for supporting the channel in any way. Big shout out to the patrons. Big shout out to the Discord gang. You guys can check those links out in the description box if you want to get access there. We got some videos up and coming. Verizon's making a lot of noise infrastructure-wise. I'll be following this story closely, the one about Sprint and the FCC. We'll see what T-Mobile's going to do next. Again, I'm leaning towards them walking away from the merger. I think Sprint's just it's risky. I think T-Mobile's just going to assess this and say,
Hold up. Wait, we're at 100 likes. Post in the Discord, which Rafi's sharing, a screenshot with you doing a like. Within the next week, I will randomly select a winner and contact you on Discord and send you out a $40 Visa gift card.
Pete, we're going to split it. We're going to make it a $50 gift card. I'll split it with you.
Okay, I'll do 25, you do 25, or you want me to do 30 and you want to do 20? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, $50.
Join the Discord. Get in on that gift card.
Some people that will pay for a month of cell service for one line.
Bro, didn't Xander win it the last time?
Yep. He's going out of the drawing for this one.
Yeah, Xander, you can't win another one, man.
There's the link to the giveaway channel. Post a thumbs up. If you spam, you will be banned.
So what I want to do is, again, I actually have a laugh that I do. It's not like an evil laugh, but it's kind of like a conniving laugh. Whenever it's like a sarcastic laugh. So, nice job to you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, good for you. You suck. Thank you for ruining everything. And, hopefully they just go out of business and we could just move on from this. And hopefully T-Mobile will get some of that spectrum. That's all we could hope for.
May the Buddhavasta of compassion have pity on your mortal soul, and may you ultimately be reincarnated on top of a golden lotus. Wait, that would only work if it was SoftBank. Japanese Zen Buddhist death mythology.
SoftBank, stop sending money to Sprint and send it to me. Konnichiwa.
SoftBank.
Send me the yens, all right?
If you give me like half an hour, I'll get all the kanji ready for that letter without Google Translate.
All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, thanks to all who participated today, all the contributors, all the members of the communities, all my moderators. It was an excellent show. Pete, thanks for being here. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to rewatch the beginning and how we kind of both snapped a little bit.
Also, the cutoff is 2 a.m. Mountain Time.
You guys hear that? 2 a.m. Mountain Time for the Discord screenshot of you liking the video. Make sure that it's activated. It's got that bright blue look to it. It's highlighted. So
if it's a thumbs down ticked off, you will be banned from the server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Peace.
We'll see you guys on the next podcast. Peace.